Gojira, 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 Tesla, Gojira, 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 Tesla, Gojira.
Hello everybody, Tesla Gojira here, and today I'm playing a game that I haven't played anything quite like it before, but I figured I'd check it out. It is called the Capo 3R. But yeah, it's a Japanese manga gamer game. It's developed by Circus, I believe. But I'm just going to read the description here. The tale you've long waited for is here. As the eldest son of the Katsuragi family, one of the leading families of mages in Japan, Kiyotaka travels across the ocean to London with his little sister Himeno in order to study abroad at Royal London Magic Academy, also known as Weather Vane. A sprawling underground academic city awaits Kiyotaka and Himeno as they set foot for the first time in the fog-covered city of London. The academic city is situated in an underground lake and is composed of 3 floating islands in the shape of a crescent moon. Many fledgling mages from around the world congregate here to study their craft in an optimum environment. Kiyotaka begins to feel at ease in his new environment, and soon the siblings are merrily hanging out with their new friends at school, experiencing ordinary days, repeating like a da capo as if they were a dream, a tale of encounters and farewells and the story of how it all began. So yeah, I've never played this game before, so I get right into the beginning. We raised our voices in wonder as we first set foot through the door. The first thing we noticed was that we were on an escalator descending underground. Its great size putting even ones hosted by world fairs to shame. It didn't run on electricity. It was most likely running on magic. Below us, we saw an underground lake so vast it couldn't have been mistaken for the sea. The sprawling scenery was so magnificent I could hardly believe we were underground. I'd heard the stories, but this is incredible. Nissan. I have a Nissan. Amen, pointed below. Little islands dotted on the underground lake, and we could spot the buildings we were headed to on one of them. And directly at the heart of those islands, there stood a colossal tree. Is that a cherry blossom tree? Yeah. Is that a Yoshino cherry tree? I couldn't tell what species it was from here, but there certainly was a very large cherry blossom tree. Plus, the flowers on that cherry tree were in bloom. Looking closely, I could see the other cherry blossoms growing in various important locations throughout the island. Blah, 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 blah. All calmed down by the cherry blossoms, Japan, blah, 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 blah. It was a nostalgic sight with enough at-homeness to put even me at ease. The island where I was born was quite famous as a site for viewing cherry blossoms, and every spring the entire island would all but overflow with their beautiful flowers. Now that I think about it, the island looks kind of similar to Hatsune Island too, but I wonder, why would there even be cherry blossoms here? And how could they be in bloom at this time of year? Well, I guess it was readily apparent that it was due to magic. Nah. Maybe they were somehow infusing the essence of life directly into them. Maybe they were able to somehow alter the tree's genetic makeup when they were still seedling to make them magical plants. Of course, there was also the possibility it was all just a massive illusion of magic, like any other method. I feel like this game is kind of hard to do a let's play of because you gotta read everything. I mean, it is a visual novel, so it's not really like a actual game, but a book. I haven't a clue as to who might have cast that sort of spell, but I wouldn't have expected anything less from an International Academy of Magic. I looked down at the elegant building on the largest island, so that's where I will be going to school. My body wildly rocked back and forth. The escalator sure was shaking badly all of a sudden. What kind of dream? A dream? Just as the meaning of her words slowly sank into my brain, I had an odd feeling. Underground lake as vast as a sea, a huge escalator that traveled between the earth and the sky. There's no way anything like that could exist. I'm in. Naturally, a familiar scene lay before me. No sign of the escalator descending from the sky, nor the 4 islands spread beneath me. The newspaper club's room? Correct. Did you sleep well? Kiyotaka-kun? Irk. My memory cleared and my brain kicked into gear once I was met with sound of girl's annoyed voice. She was clearly trying her best to remain composed. This was the club room for the official newspaper club that I belonged to, and it was after school, in other words, time for club activities. I had recollections of being called here for an editorial meet about our next issue, but I must have fallen asleep partway through. Falling asleep right while I'm talking, eh? You've got some nerve. When I slowly searched for the source of the voice, I saw our club president, Morizono Rika-san. She had big sapphire blue eyes and a thin, straight nose. Her beautiful pink lips wore a thin layer of lipstick. Apart from her good looks, she was also an energetic and cheerful person that was cordial with everyone, which made her popular with all the students. This stunning girl was held in such high regard. She was the academy's idol. My heart raced as I realized she was glaring at me. Do you have any excuses? I'm listening. I don't, I'm sorry. Sheesh, make sure you pay attention, okay? I stayed up all night thinking about this. When I meekly apologized, she pouted instead of getting angry at me. And the one who came between us was Yoshino Charles, Rika-san's classmate and a senior here at Kasami Academy, or Lulu Ni as I called her. One could tell from her looks, but she was half Japanese, and the daughter of my father's younger brother. The daughter of my father's younger brother. Wait. So your cousin? We somehow ended up living under the same roof for the past 3 years, so now it feels more like we're siblings than cousins. Oh, okay. And you, Charles, you were nodding off too, weren't you? You could tell. Rika-san shrugged in defeat as Luni stuck her tongue out with a cute look. It's all because you two were up late night playing games together. I couldn't help it. The Lashian plate rarely ever drops. Wait, how do you know that? You know how thin the walls are in our apartments, don't you, Nissan? I could hear everything. You and Charles carry on too much that late at night. The exasperated voice belonged to Katsurigi Himeno. She's my age and she lives next door to me. We've been practically family since the day we were born, so you could say she's my childhood friend. But how come I've never heard you through our walls? If the walls were thin enough for Himeno to hear us, then we should be able to hear her voice too. You should know that I'm not the one to make a big racket like you are. I didn't know I was being that loud. There's a good chance we were boisterous and got carried away when we got immersed in the game. Oh, but that's sad. Every now and then I feel like I can hear you making rather enticing noises, like some sort of feverish mumbling. I don't do that. I don't do anything like that. That's sexual harassment. Himeno blushed deep red and swung her fists. You don't do what? What do you mean sexual harassment? After looking like she'd just gotten caught, she cleared her throat to settle herself down. Anyways, just keep it down at night. And no eavesdropping on other people. Got it? Are they talking about masturbating? I wouldn't dream of it. It's not like I have anything to eavesdrop on anyway. But when I gave her that reply, Himeno just pursed her lips and turned her head away. She was the one who told me not to eavesdrop. Maybe she's at that rebellious age, but lately I get the occasional feeling that I don't understand what's going on in her head at all. I get the feeling she used to be more honest in the past. Well, they do say growing girls are a handful. So, Sada, wake up that other sleepyhead too. Yes, understood. The one who jumped out of her seat at Rika-san's call was Rukawa Sada. Having skipped 2 years before suddenly transferring into our class gave the impression of being a genius. She was very diligent, and every day she fought hard to keep us all on track, despite how often our members liked to derail the topic during meetings. She was our newspaper club's absolute conscience, or in other words, our sensible one. I can't. Sarah, you can't? And the girl who Sarah was shaking was our club's only freshman, Hinomoro Aoi-chan. She was bright, naive, and innocent. She was like a ray of sunshine that made everyone feel warm just by being close to her. Just 3 more. 3 more minutes? 3 more decades. Everyone retorted at the same time. Those eyes. She was planning to be half asleep for 3 decades? Senpai. Sarah looked at me for help, so I stood up, went over to Ai-chan and whispered in her ear, Ai-chan, if you don't wake up soon, you'll be late for work. Really? I bolted out of her seat. I knew that would have an immediate effect on her. She was known as our academy's most hardworking girl, and she held several different part-time jobs. The ones I knew of included waiting at Hanayori Dango, delivering morning newspapers, and helping set up various event stages. She worked so hard every day it made one worry about her. Ah! She looked around in panic and then turned to me in confusion. Finally awake? Under Rika-san's glare, she finally realized the situation she was in and just tried to laugh it off as she sat back down. I returned to my seat too. Now, as I was saying, our meeting to decide on our topic for the graduation edition of the official newspaper begins now. As Rika-san called out to reconvene, everyone straightened up in their seats. President Rika-san, Vice President Luluni, Himeno, Sarah, Oi-chan, and myself as the secretary. These were the 6 members of the official newspaper club, so I'm the only guy in a group of five girls. Got it. While it was a bit of struggle being the lone guy in the group among... I just said that. I still kind of enjoyed this club since everyone had their own quirks. It was a lot of fun hanging out and doing all sorts of things together with these people. If you know what I mean. Now take a look at the printouts I gave you earlier. As you can see written here, I believe we should use magic as the theme for this issue. All of the newspaper members, including myself, grew slightly apprehensive at Rika-san's proud statement. Yeah, I guess I hadn't misread it. I'm certain I had that strange dream because I read this beforehand. If magic is our theme, what kind of articles are we planning to write? Isn't that obvious? We're going to do a special report on a magic academy that once existed in this world long ago. She said such an unfortunate thing with great pride and confidence. The general reaction of everyone else in the room at the moment could be summarized as, come again? She was incredibly beautiful, her grades were excellent, and she was a great athlete. She could be a model with her style, and there were no issues with her personality. There was absolutely no reason to object to her being known as the Academy's idol, and I was happy to begin being in the same club as her. But she had just one major flaw. It was really unfortunate. I think they called it 8th grader syndrome. It was an academic city that existed in a vast underground society where mages gathered from all around the world. Yes. Category 5? Is that impressive? Naturally, after all, there are only 5 Category 5 mages in the world. One category is authorized by the association, so of course that doesn't necessarily indicate the absolute value of a mage's abilities, but make no mistake, it's impossible to be recognized as a Category 5 without considerable ability. Wow, that's quite the backstory you came up with. It's not a backstory, it's the truth. I was active all around the world. Come back to the real world! I'm always living in the real world. Why don't any of you understand? How could we understand? No one believes a word of that fairy tale, or more accurately, delusion of hers. Don't believe in fate, blah 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 blah. Puffed her cheeks in discontent. That's right, she always ended up here when she gets on the discussion. Apparently in this backstory of hers, Rika-san and I were both students attending the same magic academy sometime in the past. She claims the two of us were deeply in love with each other back then, but managed to reunite again at a different age. I vaguely recalled the day I first met Rika-san, when she suddenly told me all that. Flashbacks! It all happened about a month after I first joined Kazami Academy. Was that me? No. Yes? No. So, I'd like to hear your opinion about it. It was during our lunch break just after 4th period gym class had ended. I was cutting across the grounds to head back to class with Edogawa Kaosuki, classmate I easily befriended on the day of our entrance ceremony. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if my opinion will have any help, but go ahead and ask. I hadn't known this guy for very long, but frankly, I was happy to hear him consult me on such a big problem. In my naivety, I assume this must have been how best friends interacted. I decided a while back I want my girlfriend to wear a school swimsuit when I lose my virginity. What? But lately I've been thinking about bloomers would be nice too. Every time we have gym class, the problem shakes my pure heart, especially when I see the girls reaching down like this to fix where it's been digging in. You old pervert. Feels like the undying devotion I've had to school swimsuits ever since 3rd grade is in peril here. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still wild about swimsuits. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. But now that I've realized the devilish charm of that dark blue, I just can't ignore it anymore. So what manner of divine raiments must I get my girlfriend to wear on the night of the holy ceremony? What do you say? I was like, I don't care. I was a fool for taking him seriously for even a moment. Why not? Don't you get turned on by bloomers too? I've heard them called bloomers since what, 1960? Doesn't that whole erotic gesture just get you all hot under the collar? If you keep up the nonsense, I'll tell Shiki-san your younger brother is looking at the girls in school with lewd intent. My sister will kill my soul with that tongue of hers. The color drained from his face as he took half a step back. Blah, 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 blah. She was her older sister, a senior at the academy, and current president of the disciplinary committee, but I already taste the impact she left on the day of our entrance ceremony. She always wore an angelic smile on her face, but the moment she opened her mouth, her words cut deep like daggers. But no one else really understands how terrible she is yet. So that woman's clever, and she still keeps up her act here at school. Oh, hello. Jesus. When I called, I was there behind him. He screamed like his world was at an end. I'm kidding. It's too much of a reaction, though. His sister beat him up. The way he trembled made it seem like he was genuinely scared of her. What on earth happened to him at their home? I kind of wanted to know, but it was probably best not to pry any further. There are plenty of things in this world we're better off not knowing. That was the kind of average academy life I was living, unique only on how plain and ordinary it was, when before my eyes. Ooh. Is she flying? An angel descended from the sky. That was how it felt in my mind. Beautiful girl danced brightly against the backdrop of the clear blue sky. Her golden hair, bathed in brilliant daylight, shone brighter than the sun itself in my eyes. What really caught my eye was the expression on her face. That smile. Is that a smile? I've seen lots of smiles in my life, but it was the first time I'd seen such a genuine one capable of... Yeah. Even if the thought seemed embarrassing, it was that smile which truly made me feel like an angel had descended. When the girl landed about a meter in front of me, she stood up straight and peered at my face. She took one step, then another, closing the distance between us. She was almost standing just an arm's length from me, so close I could almost touch her. I finally found you, huh? Did she say she finally found me? What did she mean? I didn't think I'd done anything to draw her attention. You're sure you have the wrong person? Besides, this is my first time meeting her. But she just shook her head, confident she'd found the right person. There's no mistake here. I've been looking for you all this time. Did I do something wrong? I don't think I could have forgotten a beautiful girl like her, though. Yes, you did. I did? What? This right here. You stole it. The girl in front of me tapped to the left side of her chest. Huh? I said, you stole my heart. She suddenly blurted out a line that seemed to come right from a soap opera. You mean you fall in love with me at first sight? Oh, oops. I don't know what I missed there, but no, it wasn't love at first sight. You and I spent a long time building the emotional bond between us. A long time, but we haven't met before, have we? You're right, this is our first time meeting in this life. What? Sort of crazy thing did this girl just say? In this life, was it? I wondered if the sudden bad feeling I got at the moment was just my imagination. You may have forgotten it, but in our past lives we both swore our love to each other. You could say that we're destined to be lovers, bound by an eternal red string of fate. Hey, this isn't my imagination at all. Here I was thinking she was quite a pretty young thing, but it turns out she's got pretty unbelievable delusions in her head. No, I think you must be imagining things. I don't have any memories from any previous life. Well, I guess that... I like how they just changed her name to Pitiful Girl. Well, I guess that goes without saying, but don't worry, I'll be gladly waiting for the day when you do remember. Now, this isn't about waiting but my words stop there. That was how I first met her. And I'm gonna call this review first impressions thing, yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Just because, like I said, it's not really a game, it's more a book, and I don't want to read this whole book. I'm already 20 minutes in. But, I mean, if this is your kind of thing, you can kind of get a little intro to the story. You're clearly, like, reincarnated into this Japanese, I guess they were Japanese before too, but she was apparently some great witch, and you're a wizard dude, I guess. And, yeah, reincarnated into the real world, or in Japan, and now I'm guessing maybe you're going to realize what's going on later on. But yeah, simple enough. If you're into these kind of like anime girl things, I do believe that you can get your freak on with them. But yeah, so if you guys have any other games you want me to check out, preferably games, since this really isn't my cup of tea. I just thought I'd check it out since I've never done one before. But yeah, thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good rest of your day. Tesla Gojira out!